let's go back in time, and we have talked a lot about, I remember after the London Bridge attack, and we've had all the other attacks. Now we had, now it's up to 14 dead in Barcelona, over 100 people injured. Did you see the videos, the carnage last night?
I saw the videos, and it was one of those videos I wish I'd never clicked on, and it's my own fault, and I blame myself entirely, but then also part of me says, somehow you need to connect with what it means when a truck runs people over. You know, we just sort of say that now as if it's something standard, like going for a jab at the doctors, or, you know, somebody having a cold or the flu. It's not. It's horrific, and people look weird and distorted and like rag dolls, and your brain can't process that those are real humans that have literally been squashed.
Oh, what do you think? I mean, is Europe ever going to get it? Because I even see Merkel doubling down on stupid again.
No, she's doubling down on stupid, no problem at all. The leader of the the Welsh party, kind of the random bit of Wales, random bit of the UK that's on the left-hand side, it's a small bit, she just came out after she saw the pictures of Barcelona, and she went, oh no, the far right are at it again, as if somehow that was going to be related to anything to do with Charlottesville last week. And of course we've seen exactly the same thing all over again, where when it's an attack by an Islamist extremist, it's nothing to do with Islam, but when it's one person in Charlottesville, it's everything to do with everyone from the right wing ever. And I think we've seen that. And then we've just had a knife attack in Finland, 2 dead, yelling Allahu Akbar as he stabbed them to death. And then another stabbing in Germany just happened, although they're saying that that's not terror, although I don't know what being stabbed in the street is, if not terrifying.
You know, in one sense, I got the CIA apparently warned Spain about this, and I'm not criticizing their intelligence community here, because as we both know, this is extraordinarily difficult in terms of stopping these terrorists, but they did do a good job, and they were able to stop and arrest about 6 other people that had planned other attacks, because that's very much the MO of ISIS and radical Islamists, that they don't hit you once, they try and hit you, like on 9/11, they hit you 4 times in a day.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose the slightly concerning thing is for them to be able to go straight to these other places where the terrorists were also operating miles away from the original attack with the truck in the street, is that these people are on the watch list. You know, these are people that are being watched, whether they're high up on the watch list or not. And that's always a concern. And I've heard a lot from Spanish friends that the word there is that Catalonia has been kind of flooding Barcelona and places with migrants, with Muslim migrants, in order to try and keep the vote for independence, so almost bringing in a new wave of people in order to get votes. And I think that's something people in the UK can relate to, where we see areas of the UK that have been completely lost, we would say, to Muslim populations, and of course they always vote Labour or Democrats in your case. You know, and there's a sense that we're bringing in populations that will vote a certain way, and that's certainly the word on the street in Spain, although it can't be articulated in the press.
Well, listen, I don't even mind helping people out, but I don't think taking every single person on from countries and cultures that differ so vastly is necessarily a good thing, because unless there is assimilation and adoption of the values of people that you're bringing into the country, and I keep using the same example because it's the one that works best, is if you grow up under Sharia, and you think that you could tell Katie Hopkins how to dress and Katie Hopkins that she can't drive, and you kill gays and lesbians as a matter of just a penalty for them being who they are, and then you throw them off roofs and hang them, and if you persecute Christians and Jews, I don't think you're going to fit in very well.
No, and it is concerning from, I mean, you'll understand completely, given that you seem to be the punchbag for so many people, idiots, is that we had an article in The Sun, like a big tabloid newspaper. I think it's one of the most popular in the UK. I used to write for it, and they called out Muslim grooming gangs, you know, these rape squads. They called them, they just happened to put the phrase in, the Muslim problem, and because of that, mass outrage, and a Labour MP got sacked from her post because she had written an article about the problem of rape gangs. It's so much that the tide of public opinion and what you're allowed to say has gone the other way. We're not even allowed to state the factual obvious anymore because it's, you know, insulting to the rest of the Muslim population. It's a really curious
Listen, there are good people in every race, religion, and background, but particularly those that adopt the radical interpretation of the Quran or support Sharia law. We know what that means, and there has been no-go zones, even though people will not even be allowed to say it, apparently. And on top of that, you have 80 Sharia courts, 80-plus Sharia courts in Great Britain where you live, and that is not particularly good for anybody because it means they're separate and apart, and they're not part of the, really, you know, Great Britain. If you're going to have your own court system and your own justice system and your own way of life, and you live in a separate community and you don't even want, you know, services from the state, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it has gone a little bit too crazy, I think. And I think, you know, reflecting, I guess, a view of many people outside of London, so outside of the big metropolitan kind of left-wing liberal areas, the rest of the UK are kind of a little bit tired of getting messages on Twitter from Macron, you know, we stand with Barcelona, Merkel, we stand with Barcelona, and we had the same from Hillary Clinton, I stand with Barcelona. And you kind of want to go, yeah, that's lovely. Now you're all standing together in Barcelona. Could one of you tell us what you're going to do about this?
Well, if we don't make changes,
telling us you're standing.
If they don't make adjustments and changes, then it's going to be every other week, every 3 weeks, every 4, whatever it is, and it's never going to stop. And people, innocent people, are dying. They're being bludgeoned. It was so unsightly and gruesome. I'm like, how many more times do we have to see it until we understand what's happening? It's not that complicated. Stay right there. Katie Hopkins, the Gobby one. All right, right, as we continue, the Gobby one, Katie Hopkins is with us. What are the people in Great Britain saying about all the political stuff that's going on here?
Oh, my goodness. I mean, it's been really odd for us to watch you guys and see you, I don't know, America feeling like it's going kind of closing in on itself with these two sides fighting like they are.
Wait, slow down a little. I mean, I am watching what's going on in your country, too. It's not exactly rainbows, cotton candy, and Ferris wheels.
It's a disaster, of course. And I would always say we look to America as the, you know, the hope. Like for me, America was always the hope of what we are, and that you should look at Europe and say we don't want to be like Europe, of course. But it breaks my heart to see so many people working so actively against Trump. And people forget every time, people in the media forget every time, not you and me, darling, obviously, they forget he was democratically elected into his position, and every time he stands up and talks, I am grateful he is there. And if I could, I would stand behind him and hold on to his waist just to keep him upright, keep talking, keep doing what you're doing, because he represents the people that elected him. He does not represent the idiots who have a voice in the media so often, and that drives me crazy.
All right, Katie Hopkins, the Gobby one. I got through the entire interview without finding out whatever it was that you were going to tell me, which I view...
was going to talk about
we got to go. Very nice to talk to you, Katie. She gets me in trouble every time she's on this program. Every single time she's on, I get in trouble for what she says. And she speaks so fast, I can't even keep up with her and do my normal texting and emailing, which I usually do during the show.
Be nice. Stop being mean.
Really? All right.